It's a good morning this morning. It won't be a good morning tomorrow.
Yeah, the moment of truth is upon us.
The moment of truth.
And now is the time. Will it be this? You love this jersey, don't you? This is an authentic Tom Brady game jersey sent to me by the Bucs. I thank you very much for that. Or will it be my all-time favorite jersey? Will it be this? I bought this with my own money, believe it or not. Will it be this? I don't know. I love this. But
Well, no, you
I
don't.
Really
No,
love
you
this.
don't. No,
I don't
you
know.
don't.
I love them both. I don't know. I don't know.
The world is convinced you do not love the Cowboys like you love Tom Brady.
That is false.
That is true.
That is
very
false.
true.
That is false, false, false.
No.
Oh,
that is
Let's
true.
talk about it.
This is the moment. Who wins tonight?
Look, Tampa has looked well. I mean, I saw the last time they played the Houston Texans. And the Houston Texans aren't a very good football team. And they, first drive, they went 3 and out. And then next thing you know, they go boom, 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 right down the field, 2 consecutive drives. I expect that to be a similar situation tonight, Skip. The Cowboys might stop them on the first drive, and all Cowboy Nation will go crazy like, oh, yeah, that defense has improved. But Tom Brady will go to the sideline, regroup, and they'll come back out, and they'll methodically go back down the field the next couple of times and blow the ball game open, and they'll leave no doubt.
Will they be behind 7-0 at that point?
You know good well the Cowboys don't score no first possession. You stop. And then Tom Brady will do what Tom Brady does, and the next thing you know, we'll look up at the score, and it's like we're going in the half, and it's like 28-7. And for all intents and purposes, the game will be over. So, Skip, look, I just don't think the Tampa Bay, the Bucs will have very many problems moving the football, scoring against the Dallas defense. I'm not convinced. I know you and Mike McCarthy believe that this defense is flipped. You believe that since they hired Dan Quinn, they've moved a few pieces around. They'll be better than what they were last year.
Definitely
You better
better.
hope they're better than last year. They can't be any worse than last year. But, Skip, the thing is that when you look at it, and I'm not so sure now, Skip, that Zach Martin's going to be out because he might play, he might not.
I think they've ruled him out.
I'm going to probably the Bucs are anticipating him playing, but I thought they were going to struggle moving the ball even if he had played. Lyle Collins, they said he's been recovered from that stinger, but he hasn't played in over a year. Tyron Smith hadn't played in a very long time. Hell, he's been out almost as long as that.
Yep.
And we know what Zach Martin represents, although the last couple of years he's had some injury issues. But I think the problem that they're going to have, Skip, is being able to run the football. And when you can't run the football, now you set your quarterback up to take a lot of punishment. And the last thing that you want on a guy that had a shoulder injury, a lat injury, whatever the case may be, is for him not to be able to run the football, and now you got to pass protect against him. Because we know Todd Bowles can dial it up, and they can get pressure on your quarterback. So I thought about going bigger, but I'm going to be conservative because I like to start out conservative and just like build my way. I'm going to say Tampa wins this game 31-17, but the game will not be as close.
Okay.
And 31-17 isn't close, but I think the game, go back and look at this game somewhere in the middle of the season. You're like, you know what? That game really should have been like 45-10. But I'm going to say 31-14. I almost went 34-13, but I'm going to say 31-17.
Okay. Shannon Sharpe, I believe if my Cowboys tonight were playing Bishop Sycamore, you would take Bishop Sycamore 31-17.
Now, I think y'all kick a late field goal.
You think so? 31-20 maybe? Something like that?
31-30.
Okay, 31-30. Okay, but you'd still take Bishop Sycamore
I would.
wherever and whatever that is. Okay, to your opening salvo at me as the show began. In my career, I have never faced more mixed emotions than I have for tonight's game. And they have been building, percolating toward tonight all week long as I go back and forth with you.
Right.
And just for the record, I have loved my Cowboys since I was 10 years old. I have loved Tom Brady on television for at least the last 10 years.
A little further. 15.
Maybe, but at least 10 where I was all in on Brady.
Right.
And at some points this week, I've said, hey, I can't lose because either way, I'm going to be okay.
Exactly.
And then it hit me last night, I can't win because I'm going to get hurt either way. And in the end, this is the God's truth because I thought hard about this last night. I will be rooting tonight for my Dallas Cowboys. I will not root for Tom Brady tonight, but this will be the only night this year I will not root for Tom Brady.
Oh, okay.
And I just want you to know that I spent all night last night. As big a mismatch as this looks like on paper, I tried my damnedest last night to figure a way the Cowboys could pull off the upset of the century. And that's about what it's going to take, because I want you to know, we're going to talk about this later in the show a couple of times, I believe these Buccaneers, led by Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., are positioned to win every single game this year. You can dispute that. We will debate that. But that's my gut feeling. That's what my Cowboys are up against. And I told you a couple of days back, I'm outraged that my Cowboys got thrown to the wolves on opening Thursday night, because clearly they didn't earn their way into this game. They don't belong in this game. They don't deserve to be in this game, because it's outrageous that you finished third last year in arguably the worst division in the history of football. Well, it was, okay?
Yeah.
We're a sub-500 won it and got you to the playoffs, and you finished third in that division. You couldn't even win that division, and you're thrown into the opening night fire at Tampa Bay. It's absurd, it's preposterous, and it's outrageously unfair to me as a Cowboy fan, because it's just a big old L. And the only reason they're in there is because of Jerry Jones and Cowboy mystique and America's team and Hard Knocks. You know it, and I know it.
Yeah, but Skip, you told me Jerry and Steven said this team has as much talent as those Super Bowl teams. So why is it?
Well, have they said that? I don't know if they said about this year's team. Have they? I don't know. They say it every year,
Yeah,
so I can't even keep up with that.
That's my point.
Okay, so I tried to figure a way my Cowboys could win the game, and I'll be honest, I can't quite get there. But I do believe, after I watched the last episode, episode 5 of Hard Knocks on Tuesday night, I got a much better feeling about my whole team this year. I like my team to the point of loving it to win the NFC least. I think it's going to run away with the East, and you're going to lose tons of Diet Mountain Dew, gallons of Diet Mountain Dew, because we've bet at least 10 cases on that. You are in grave jeopardy of losing that, because I am 1,000% comfortable with that bet. I can't quite get comfortable with my team winning at a team that I think is going to win every single game. And by the way, Fox Bet already has Tampa Bay favored to win every game. And tonight, they are the biggest opening weekend favorite of all at 8.5 points. My Cowboys are 8.5. And I told you a couple of days ago, I said, to me, it feels like it should be a 12-point game.
Might go to 9 before the kickoff.
Well, it just might, because this team, listen, Tom Brady this year, that his weaponry on this team, this is the deepest collection of weapons I have ever seen. I've been doing this for a long time. I have never seen a deeper collection of weapons. I'm talking about all the receivers, including all 3 of the tight ends, and all 3 of the running backs, including the newly added Gio Bernard, who's going to be coming out of the backfield catching James White flips from Tom Brady.
Okay.
I don't know how you could get any deeper. I don't know how you... I don't know how you can cover these people, because I think Antonio Brown is positioned to have a re-breakout year where he got his knee fixed. And remember, he had to play, he missed the Green Bay game, and then played in the Super Bowl on one leg and still caught a touchdown pass on Honey Badger. Well, I think he got it fixed. They say he's running as hot and hard as he has in the last 5 years. Well, how are you going to cover him in the slot when you got 2 Pro Bowlers on the outside, and then you got Gronk, and then you got Cameron Brate? And yesterday, Tom Brady said that O.J. Howard is positioned to have and I'm going to quote Tom, a great year this year, coming off his Achilles tear. What do we call him? 6'5", 260?
Yeah, he easy 255.
Runs 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I always thought he was going to be a stud and emerge as a Pro Bowl tight end already, and you're adding him to this?
Right. Well,
It's just ridiculous. It's an embarrassment of riches.
But you was just out here the last 3 days hooting and hollering and crowing. Randy Gregory, D. Law, Michael Parsons, Wolf Hunter, Trayvon Diggs.
If they were playing anybody, I mean anybody else, even on the road, you can name any year, even Kansas City.
Man, you better stop it.
Okay, I'm starting it right now, because Tampa is better than Kansas City, and we're going to get to that, and then we're going to get after it on that.
Okay.
But the point is that I can't think of a worse place to go than tonight. But then I think, gee, what was the last time Tom Brady played on an opening Thursday night? Do you remember 2017 in Foxborough? Do you remember what Kansas City did? Do you remember what Andy Reid and Alex Smith and Kareem Hunt did on opening night? It was 42-27. The Patriots just got blindsided, and it was hard for them. They kept trying to get up off the mat, and Tom Brady was horrible in that game. He was 16-36. That's 44%. And would you believe Kansas City that night against Belichick, the genius?
That was the most yards he'd ever given up.
Yeah, 537 yards to the Kansas City Chiefs on opening night at home. So I start thinking, well, maybe as great as Tom looked in this preseason, maybe they'll get off to a little bit of a rocky start.
Right.
Maybe they will take my team just slightly less seriously than they should. My team, to me, is the biggest X factor in all the NFL because I can make a case my team will be a Super Bowl team.
No, you can't make that case.
I can.
Perry Mason couldn't make that case.
Perry Mason could. Johnny Cochran could make that. I believe Johnny Cochran could.
Nobody making that case.
And, I've seen some people pick him to be in the Super Bowl. I've seen it.
Pick what? Pick who?
Pick the Dallas Cowboys to be in the Super Bowl because they are going to have an explosive offense. If the offensive line can stay healthy, and remember, Zach Martin has COVID. He didn't wreck his knee or tear his calf or, it's not season threatening.
Right.
He got
It's
COVID.
not an injury.
Okay, I guess, and I don't know how hard hit he got by COVID, but he was vaccinated, so that would suggest strongly that he's going to be just fine for the game at Chargers, which I'm starting to fear already, in week 2, right? Okay, so the point is, if the offensive line can stay healthy, I told you CeeDee Lamb is going to have a breakout year. I think he emerges as the number 1 receiver. I think he's going to have a big game tonight.
Carlton Davis going to lock him up.
You really believe that?
Them boys going to lock him up.
I will remind you that Jordan Whitehead is out. He is their starting safety, and he's been their starting safety for the last 2 years.
Right.
But that kid, Mike Edwards, got to play a lot in the playoffs, and he had a big pick of Drew Brees at New Orleans in the playoff game. And I don't think they'll miss a beat, but at least you have a little bit of an advantage
Winfield
there.
Jr. back there.
He is back there.
Okay.
He is definitely back there, and he wasn't back there for the Green Bay game, remember?
Yeah, I would need him here in this game.
Okay, well, he'll be back there. That's the last I heard. Is Levante? Yeah, the last I heard. JPP, Shaq Barrett.
Sue, Vita Vale. Okay, we good. Y'all doing good then.
But Tyron Smith has to be fresh, right? Lyle Collins has to be rejuvenated.
They're gonna need to be.
Just on sheer rest, right?
Yes.
Okay, if those two have a big game tonight, and I believe they are highly capable of at least playing to a draw with Shaq and JPP. If they can just play it to a draw and keep Dak upright for most of the night, he's going to have a big night tonight because what struck me the hardest about episode 5 of Hard Knocks, and I told you this yesterday, he has a new serenity about him. We're going to talk deeper about him in just a minute, about pressure on him. It just felt like in episode 5 that he was commanding the franchise, he was commanding the team, that he had made peace with the fact he is now the face of the franchise, and he got paid. He really got paid.
Yeah.
He's making $75 million this year.
Skip, you needed episode 5 to get you to realize
I
that
needed
Dak
to
was
see inside him. I needed to see inside and how he was operating. And he was throwing the fire out of the football.
Just watch the game. Probably about the second quarter, you'll be able to see inside of him.
Okay.
Because JPP and Shaq Barrett will knock the stuffing out of him.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Okay, how many sacks for Tampa tonight?
3.
3? That's all you're going to go 5.
No, here's the thing, Skip. Sometimes it's not about sacks. It's about the pressure. We just nip it at his feet. Now, you said you wanted to see him play because the ankle, you feel the ankle is 100%.
It appears to be.
It appears to be. But he's really never had to run because, in practice, Skip, I can script it. I got a red jersey on. You can't hit me. I can get after you. Not come game time, your jersey is blue and white. Okay. So that means it's hittable.
Okay, I got it. I just have a gut feeling tonight that Tom will get off to a little bit of a shaky start. I don't know why. It'll just be opening night, and sometimes he does get off to a little bit of a not in midseason sync start.
Man, Tom Brady, did you not see Tom Brady?
I saw it. He threw for 154 against the Houston Texans. He went right up and down the field, throwing to Chris Godwin and Chris Godwin.
Remember that? What was that? Was that opening night, I think, probably 10, 12 years ago against Miami? He threw for 500 yards on opening night.
Yeah,
That's the Tom Brady aspect.
I've got the list of his Thursday night games, and he won his first three, 04, 05, and 2015.
Right.
He beat Indy and the Raiders and Pittsburgh, and he beat the stuffing out all three of them.
Right.
It was just Kansas City.
And y'all don't have an Alex Smith. And look, that was Kansas City clicking on all cylinders. Tyreek was playing out of his mind. The running game was out of their mind. Because, Skip, if you remember, New England got off to a great start. It was the second half in which they blew the game open because they outscored them, if I'm not mistaken, like 21-0. They just blew the game open. So it wasn't like Tom struggled in the second half. But if you look at the first half, Skip, he was playing well. It was like, okay, this is going to be a ball game. And the next thing you know, Kansas City took off on them. Y'all don't have that ability.
That night, Alex Smith went 28 of 35 for 369, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions against Bill Belichick.
Yes.
With a QBR of 91, which is scale 0 to 100, is outrageously great.
Yeah.
You just don't see very many 90s.
Right.
And I believe Dak will have that kind of game tonight.
Man,
I can't go 4 touchdowns, but I will go he'll throw 3 touchdown passes. So I believe that my team, here's the bottom line, will not get embarrassed. You think they'll get embarrassed?
Yeah.
I think my team.
Skip, there's a greater chance he throws 3 picks than 3 interceptions.
Okay, what do you want to bet on that? Okay? What do you want to bet? So you got 3 picks for Dak?
I say there's a better chance he throws 3. He ain't throwing 3 touchdowns. Not against that defense.
Okay, you take 3 interceptions. I'll take 3 touchdowns for 2 cases.
Okay. And what happens if neither happens?
Okay, but if I get to 3 and there are not 3 interceptions, I win.
What if I get 3?
If you get to 3 and there aren't 3 touchdowns, you win.
So, but what if he doesn't throw 3 touchdowns? Period. What if he only throws 2?
Okay, but then it'll depend on interceptions. Will he get to 3?
No, I'm just saying there's a greater chance. Neither might not. There's a chance neither happens.
Okay, if neither happens, there's no blood on this. Okay.
I take it.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I believe he will throw 3 touchdown passes. I believe this game will be close after 3 quarters. You think it's going to be a blowout by halftime. I think it will be close, and I think it will take all of Brady's greatness, all of his goatness, to pull off one clinching drive later in the 4th quarter, and I still believe they're going to cover. I'm going to go 30-21, but I believe it'll be in the range of 23-21 after 3 quarters, and that Tampa will win the 4th quarter 7-0 on a classic vintage game clinching drive by Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
You do realize if Tampa wins 30-21, they didn't cover.
Yeah, they do.
No, that's 8.5.
Okay, but 30-21 is 9, so they would cover. They would cover by half.
No, 9 means you didn't cover.
Yeah, it is. It's
8.5, Skip.
I know it's 8.5, but if you win by 9, you win the game. You win the bet.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're not covering. What part about that didn't you get? Didn't you hear my score?
Yeah, you got them covering by a lot. You got them covering, but it's an 8.5 point game.
No, blowout.
Okay.
I got a blowout.
Okay, you got. I don't have a blowout.
Okay.
I got them barely covering 9 to 8.5.
Skip, you normally come out here, Skip, and you normally try to be the voice of reason. You try, especially when you're talking about your Cowboys. Now, you watch one episode, that give one...
I just think they can play with them for 3 quarters.
They can't.
And it, like on Tuesday this week, I thought it was going to be a devastation.
So let me get this right.
An embarrassment, an eyesore.
Let me get this right. You're saying a team that you believe is going to go 17-0.
Yep.
A team that's picked to win the least. Now, remind you, Skip, they're only picked to win the least by a game. So 1 game. But you think
some people have them by 2 or 3 games.
No, the people are you. But anyway, that you don't count. Skip, you're not covering. The game's going to be over by the 3rd.
Okay,
you know how Tom mixed that. You know how Tom mixed it up. Little run, short pass, bomb to Mike Evans or AB. AB going to go for 100 on y'all.
Okay, he well might. I think they will run for 120. I think they will run it.
You better hope they don't run for 120, because if they run for 120, he going to throw for 350, because play action going to be there. You better hope.
No.
You better hope Tampa doesn't run for 120.
Well, if he's handing it off, he's not throwing it.
No, because guess what happens then? Now you got those linebackers got to step up to try to take the run away.
I think they will take the run and take the run and take it, because all last year, all I saw was people running wild on my Cowboys, and I'm not sure that got fixed.
People did everything on the Cowboys. Did whatever they wanted.
They did, but I'm saying we are 50% better on defense. Dan Quinn will make us 50% better because he's got pieces to work with. Micah Parsons will be the defensive rookie of the year.
Yes.
And I think he will pop off your screen tonight, and he will cause Tampa some problems because he will move all over the formation.
You watch episode 5, right? Mm-hmm. And you heard what DeMarcus Ware told Micah Parsons about what Brady's going to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did. But again, you heard the kid. He's got a lot of moxie about him. He's smart. He's extremely confident, and I like how he's very mature for his age.
Yes.
And I don't think he's like stupid confident where he just like doesn't understand. I think he does understand the onslaught he's going to face tonight.
Nah, Skip, because for the most part, he's been the best. I mean, he's never gone up against anything like Tom Brady. Because here's the thing. When you're a rookie, you don't know what you don't know. The problem is you think you know everything, but you don't know what you don't know. Okay. And Tom Brady knows what he doesn't know because he hasn't been in the game long enough. He hasn't had an opportunity to study long enough. This is not Ray Lewis. This is not Luke Kuechly now. This is not an Urlacher. He's a rookie. Now, I'm not saying he can't eventually become one of those guys, but he's not that now. Tom Brady understands that, and he knows what he say. My homeboys want me to get it. Skip Bayless want me to get it.
That is correct.
Tom Brady knows he wants to get it.
Yep.
So I'm going to use that against you.
Okay. Randy Gregory will get Tom Brady a couple times tonight. And that will level the playing field. Randy Gregory is going to have a breakout year because he's finally getting a chance.
Okay.
And God
he got
bless
a chance
him.
last year.
He stays upright. So the point is, Zeke will not be a factor tonight because there's going to be no Zach Martin. And Zach. It's Zeke-Zach. That's the train. It goes right behind Zach. And if you take Zach out, you take Zeke mostly out of the game. So the over-under on his yards are like 55, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he'll get 55 yards because I think they're going to throw the football.
Well, Skip, you can't become one-dimensional. You see what happened when Kansas City tried to become one-dimensional and there was really no threat of running and you just allow those guys to pin their ears back? Is that really what you want to do?
I just think Dak's going to have a big comeback night.
After not playing the preseason. After not playing 11 months.
I don't love it. I don't love anything. It's been 333 days since he's played any meaningful football.
And he's going to look like it.
I think he will look great tonight. I trust it. I believe in it. And I think my Cowboys will hang in for 3 quarters, and that's as far as I can go.
Better than the case they don't cover.
333 days. Just think about that.
Y'all won't cover.
I got Tampa covering, so I'm not going to bet against myself.
Okay. Well, we know you're rooting for the Cowboys. I thought it was interesting.
He rooting for the No, he not. He rooting for Tom Brady.
Yes, he is. Tonight he is.
Cowboys.
He's not rooting for Tom.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.